Any views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the journalists and guests are solely that of the journalists and guests and do not reflect the views, opinion, policies, or positions of Positive Lifestyle Management.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, men and women all around the world. Welcome to another episode of the Legal Mind Podcast. I'm your brother Fiji, and the Legal Mind Podcast deal with all things legal. Uh, Last week was our introduction to the Legal Mind Podcast, and we would like to thank all the viewers, the subscribers, and the networkers who tuned in, who shared, and who's supporting positive lifestyle management. We would like to thank all of the other men and women out here who are doing a good work, who's starting podcasts, who has podcasts, and who want to teach and everything. So we sincerely thank everyone for stepping up, doing the work, because there's plenty of work out here to be done. There's no competition. No one is competing with nobody, and nobody's trying to get the ups to say who's right, who's wrong, and none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we all doing the work. When everybody is doing the work, that's what it's all about. That's because we know apathy is one of our greatest enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's the suppression of initiative. So those who has the ability to teach and to share the information, man, please share the information, but also be the message that you bring. Be the message that you, because one thing for sure, all eyes are on you. That's why I try to be the message that I bring. I tell y'all the truth. I tell y'all about my struggles. I tell y'all what I've gone through and everything. So now, uh, let's just keep this moving, because we are doing a great service out here. Many of us are doing a great service. To all the men and women who are doing a great service, continue to do the service that you were set here to do. Don't allow anyone to offset what you're doing or to discourage you from doing the work. But before we begin, we have to get to the PLM news commentary. Commentary. In our teachings, we are taught nothing hurt a duck but his bill. And we had coined a phrase for this today as, people's, we always say people's violated the duck. They was talking. They was just quacking, 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 quacking at their mouth. So it's called, the new term for that, y'all, is the McIntyre effect. That's a mentality. That's what it is. It's a mentality. It's called the McIntyre effect. So when you looking at your snitches, your rats, your agent provocateurs, your implicators, your COINTELPRO members, that's the McIntyre effect, because it's a mentality. They can't help it. They cannot help it. So the next duck that's the McIntyre effect goes to the one and only Keefe D. I know you all heard about it today that he was arrested for the murder of Mr. Tupac Shakur. So before I go any further, I want to say rest in peace to Tupac, rest in peace to Biggie, rest in peace to all fallen soldiers across America. No matter if you're a celebrity or not, peace out and much love and respect to your family members. All fallen soldiers, because we're losing them rapidly and daily on the battlefields. So peace to each and every one of you, all the fallen soldiers. Now, Mr. Keefe D. See, This is what we've been telling y'all at PLM News. We've been telling y'all this here since PLM News first broadcast in April of 2021. We have been saying for over 2 years, be careful on what you say out of your mouth. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. So make that one phone call. You got that right to make that one phone call. You better call somebody that can get you a lawyer to come down there to that station. If your family cannot afford you a lawyer to get down there to that station, well, you better keep your mouth shut. Because once you demand to see your attorney, then they got to stop. They got to stop investigating you. They got to stop even talking to you. They have to once you demand to see your attorney. So learn to keep your mouth shut. Unlike this gentleman right here, who was going all on these different blood sucking and culture vulturing YouTube channels, all on here talking about who allegedly was in the back seat and who allegedly shot this young man and shot the other brother, Suge Knight. And although 4 of the peoples that was involved in that situation, 3 that was in the car with him, 1 that was in the car, which was Tupac, and another one's in prison for doing 20-some years. Now look at this brother here. Now he finna be in prison too. So look at all those young soldiers. Look at all those generals. Look at all that potential going down the drain. Keffe D, 60 years old, but he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He couldn't stop talking. And look what his talking has gotten him. He's going to be locked up for the rest of his natural life. And they're going to use all these interviews that he was doing on Vlad. Don't y'all know that these peoples, man, working for them peoples? Didn't y'all just see the little guy up out of Chicago? Whatever his name was. Swipe, Trenches News. These dudes are confidential informants. The Vlads and all these culture vultures, man, they confidential informants, man. They working for them peoples. And then we get all these young men to go on here on these platforms and get to talking about all the things that they doing out here in the society, all the peoples who have lost their lives out here in society. Man, we have to be mindful of what's going on with us, man. Know the law. Learn the law. Learn it. Know that if you know you're doing something, keep your mouth shut. I'm not advocating no crime. PLM don't advocate crime. But we do advocate keeping your mouth shut. Because you may not even be involved in something, but you on somewhere you talking about something, and you include yourself in others based on you running off at your mouth. Making music videos, going all on IG and Facebook, and y'all discussing all these illegal things that has occurred and what's occurring in the community and where you at and where this person at and what this person is doing. Man, keep your mouth shut. Don't be the next Keffe D. So he felt the need where he can tell the story because everybody else was deceased and he had signed a prophet. But see, when you quacking, 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 this is what you get. So, to all men and women around the world, the lesson in this today is keep your mouth shut. Stop talking so much, especially when you got these serious cases going on, because there's no statute of limitation. Now, let's get down to the business at hand why we came here today. The reason why we are here today is because of the Arkansas governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Miss Huckabee Sanders signed into law in Arkansas. They did an overhaul of the sentencing laws in Arkansas. And when they signed this here, they signed this here back in April the 11th, 2023. A lot of people don't even know that this was done. This information was shared with PLM. So we did the research to really find out what was going on in Arkansas. All right. So we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. One of the things that's going on is the law that was signed in, this bill that was signed in the law, eliminated parole eligibility for certain violent offenses. So they've eliminated parole. So there's no chance of possibility of parole for certain offenses. So we at PLM wanted to know, what are these offenses that they have eliminated parole for? What are the offenses? So we did our homework. We did some research. And when we come up with is that there were 18 offenses that was going to be eliminated from having the opportunity to chance of getting parole. And these offenses are capital murder, murder in the first degree, murder in the second degree, kidnapping, rape, aggravated robbery, battery in the first degree. So if you just catch a battery charge in Arkansas, a battery charge, there's no possibility for you to receive parole. So whatever sentence they give you that's within that particular law, whatever that particular statute carries, you have to do all of your time. Terroristic acts, aggravated residential burglary. A residential burglary, when you break in somebody's house, you cannot even receive the possibility of parole. Escape in the first degree. So if you escape from a county jail, from a work farm, or wherever you escape from, and you wind up getting caught, whatever time they give you 10 years for that charge, then you got to do that 10 years, all of it. Sexual assault in the first degree, sexual assault in the second degree, sexual assault in the third degree, sexual assault in the fourth degree. So sexual assault across the board. No more parole. Doing all your time. Domestic battery in the first degree, domestic battery in the second degree, domestic battery in the third degree. Domestic battery charges in the state of Arkansas, No more possibility of parole. So whatever aggravated battery carries, whatever domestic battery carries in Arkansas, you hit. These new laws don't apply to anybody that was charged before 2024 because the laws go into effect. When the law go into effect, it's not going to affect anybody that's catching these charges right now. Come January the 1st, 2024, it's over with. Now, why is it? Why is it? This is what we have to ask ourselves. Why are these laws so stiff in Arkansas? So what we did, we had to go do some more research. We had to find out, why are the laws so stiff in Arkansas? So the laws are so stiff in Arkansas because Arkansas is the 4th ranking state in the nation dealing with violent crimes. The 4th ranking state in the nation dealing with violent crimes. Burglaries in the state of Arkansas leads the nation. It's more burglaries in Arkansas than any other state. So now they have made it that if you commit a burglary in this state, you cannot even receive the eligibility of parole. Arkansas, why are they coming down so hard on crime? We know why they coming down so hard on crime. It's right out of their playbook. It's right out of the playbook, y'all. The playbook is this here. When these charges and these crimes, when they came up with these bills, this is what they ran on. Republicans ran on getting tough on crime. It says Republicans in a number of states have been proposing longest prison sentences after making tough on crime promises a cornerstone of last year's election. It's not yet clear how many of those proposals would pass into law. In Georgia, for example, only a limited number of proposals for longer sentences passed. Great. Only a small number. Alabama lawmakers on Tuesday sent the governor legislation that reduced the use of good behavior incentives to shorten prison days. So that meant all the stuff that you're doing in prison, all the good things that you're doing in prison in the state of Alabama now, it ain't going to really matter. The reason it's not going to matter because they saying, man, your ass, you staying in jail. You're going to stay in jail. But then we got to ask ourselves another question. And I'm back at Arkansas again. This is not only applying to Arkansas, but this applies to all states across the nation. And that is the education system. What is the education system like in Arkansas? Let's look at the education system. The education system in Arkansas, it says Arkansas has 474,826 students enrolled in 900 189 schools and 233 school districts as of 2022. Arkansas ranks 47th amongst the state with an educated population, according to a study by Wallet Hub. The study measures educational attainments and quality of education in each state. Arkansas is the 47th educated state in the nation. Louisiana is the 48th educated state in the nation. Mississippi is the 49th educated state in the nation. And West Virginia is the 50th state. So that means West Virginia is the most illiterate state, according to Wallet Hub, in the United States of America. It is the most illiterate. Then Mississippi, then Louisiana, then Arkansas. Let's look at this. We have to look at it. We have to be able to understand why the new concept is so important. Why? Why? The new concept is important because being illiterate is our number one enemy. With the less education, the more crime we have. The more crime we have, the more prisons they're going to be talking about building. They have us in mind with these prisons. We have to be able to understand the importance of education. Understanding what is going on with us. Just a few years ago, it was all about prison reform. That's why a lot of us are out right now today. And look what a lot of us are doing. A lot of us who had that opportunity to come home on prison reform, on these prison reform bills and incentives and laws that was passed. Look at what we're doing. We've come back into society and become a part of useful citizenship. Just a few years ago now, all the positive that's going on. Now, all of a sudden, Republicans ran last year. It ain't just about Republicans, though, because you got Democrats doing the same thing. So it's not about Republicans. It's not about a red or a blue. This is about dollars and cents. It's about a product. And us as a people, we are a product that they're going to get paid off of. They're finna open up a lot of these prisons. And when they open up these prisons, guess where they going? Guess who neighborhoods they going in? Guess who communities they going in? Just guess. They going out here somewhere in these rural areas, get these people's job, because we see the inflation is rising as well. All these things are occurring around us. So we have to be mindful of everything that's going on around us. Signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. And everything that is being done is being done inside of these legislative chambers, these general assemblies, which is dealing with the law. We have to learn the law. Now let me say something. To all the men and women across America who are living in a positive, productive manner, educationally, economically, politically, socially, spiritually. All the positive and productive things that you are doing in your community, even if it's just getting the message out. Because a lot of us, it's our job to get the information to the peoples. Then somebody else step in and take the information that we have given to the people and they go forward with it. It's everybody's job. Everybody has a responsibility. We make up this organization and the communities as individuals who have come together as a collective. It's all of our responsibility. There's enough work for everybody to do. Let's do the job. And we understand this here. 2024 is right around the corner. So we have to get these voting blocks. We have to get the BLOC. We have to get voting blocks so we can get peoples in these city councils and aldermen and precinct captains. And we got to get the peoples in our community that best represent our interests in the legislative. See, y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all seen what Trump did with these MAGAs, right? Make America great again. Look at how MAGA has gotten inside of state legislators, state legislature, city councils on the local level. They on the federal level. They sitting up in the United States Supreme Court. Then Sanders also signed in the law too the aggravated death by delivery charge for someone who delivered fentanyl to another person who dies after taking the drug. If convicted, the person could face between 20 and 60 years or life in prison. So if you giving somebody some fentanyl, I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on out here now. Arkansas isn't the only state that's doing it. They are doing it in the feds. They are doing it in other states as well. If you using or you selling fentanyl and somebody is dying, a lot of these states are charging you now with serious crimes. Listen, men and women, listen to me when I tell y'all this here. Drug selling is over with. It's done. We have to understand that the drug game is done. It's over with.